She's trying to get me. Okay, so in the last video, I talked about briefly how there's like an obese epidemic, right? Because it's true, there is one. It's undeniable. Here's the thing: food these days is so shit because as technology has progressed, we've been able to sort of change the way that we're able to process food. And speaking of processed food, most food is processed. And it sucks because if you want to have the good food, the stuff that's like organic and it's that like hasn't been fucked with, there's no like chemicals or shit in it, you have to pay quite a lot of money just to be able to like have that sort of food consistently, and it sucks. And that's why most people are fat these days. So something happened the other day really made me think about food and how much better it is to have stuff that's more natural. None of that fucking McDonald's shit. If people can, they should really try and just have the most natural food they can. So I was walking back home from the gym and I took a different route to the one that I usually take, which kind of took me under this bridge. But just before the bridge, there was sort of a big patch of overgrown like weed and bushes and stuff on the side of me. And I looked at it and I noticed that it was actually covered in blackberries. And all I did is that I picked one blackberry, ate it, and the feeling of that single blackberry in my mouth was honestly so nice, because it was this hit of like, obviously it's sugary, but it's natural sugars. That's the thing, it's natural because it's just grown there. And I've eaten it and it's given me this like sugar that I needed, because I was like really tired just having done a workout. And this sugar, I was like, oh my God, this is so, like, it tasted so good. And this was one blackberry on the side of a road, right? So like, obviously it's not the best blackberry I could have had, but in that moment, it was genuinely so nice. And it just made me think, it made me step back and think, oh my God, like this single blackberry is more satisfying than any dessert I've had at a restaurant ever. Because it's just grown there. It's naturally grown. It's purely natural. And I've just taken it, eaten it, and all I needed was the one. That's all I needed. Whereas if you look at like, what is it, Pizza Hut or whatever, I don't remember which one it is, has the fucking bottomless ice cream dispenser, right? So like, you order the food and shit, and then at the end you have the option to have the bottomless ice cream, which is essentially where you like go over to the ice cream machine, pour out, you know, soft serve Mr. Whippy shit, syrup or whatever the fuck you put on it, and then eat it. And then you can go back for more, and you can get a massive amount of ice cream. Because I remember doing this as a kid, and I remember abusing it. But holy shit, thinking about that in comparison to that one blackberry, I'm like, why the fuck does anyone go for that? Because it's so shit. It's like, it's not going to do anything good for you. It's not even that satisfying. One single like bite, one spoonful of that ice cream is probably shit ice cream as well. And yet you go back for it because the sugar in it you get this craving. You're like, oh, because I don't know the specific science to it, but if you intake sugar, it triggers something, I think it's insulin. Don't quote me on this, but essentially, the more sugar you have, the hungrier you become. So you have a little bit of sugar, and you're like, oh, I'm actually still I could have some more. You have more sugar. And this is why everyone, the majority of the population of like, at least like the Western society, has a sugar addiction. Because it's in everything, and once you have it, you feel like you haven't had enough, so you need to have more. And so having this one blackberry really put that all into perspective for me, because I had something that was naturally grown, one single blackberry, that was all. I was like, I am perfectly satisfied with this one blackberry. This was exactly what I needed. I don't need any more. I could have had more. I didn't need to have more though. And it was just so nice to have. So if you're going to take anything away from this video at all, it's just, when you can, stop and eat a blackberry. It's so easy to fall into the pit of poor food choices. And so if you can, please just remember to just, when you can, stop, think about what you're having. Think, would I like to have this massive fucking 4 scoops of ice cream shit with chocolate sprinkles and raspberry syrup on it, or have a blackberry? I didn't realise how much of an impact eating a single blackberry would make on me, but here we are. So anyway, I hope you found this video somewhat interesting. I think it's an interesting subject. Maybe I'll talk about it more in the future. But for now, I will see you all later.